I just saved hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico. I feel like I'm on top of the world.
Disclaimer, you will not be transported to the top of the world. In the unlikely event you find yourself at the Arctic Circle, seek shelter from the elements immediately to avoid frostbite and or hypothermia. Geico will not be responsible if you find yourself in a cave or crevasse with a lonely abominable snowman, who in all likelihood will force you to play games including but not limited to Go Fish, charades, Chinese checkers, or his personal favorite, Red Rover, send Yeti on over. Geico is not liable for any damages, either physical or emotional.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Don Le Batard.
Do you go to the supermarket at all, Dan?
I do. I go to, yes, I do.
Whole Foods or something?
Yeah, be back.
I have a lot of difficulty picturing Dan pushing a shopping cart.
Yeah, he's a handbasket guy.
Stugotz.
No way it's a cart.
Yeah, no.
There's no way it's a cart.
I'd be so shocked. I'd be less shocked if Dan was riding a burro.
No, if he goes shopping cart, he's at the front of it pulling it, not at the back of it.
Really?
If he's doing it, it's not the traditional way.
Right, he's not two hands on the handle.
Yeah, he's in front of it and he's dragging it behind him.
Yeah, as he's picking out stuff. Yeah.
I have Mike pushing the cart and Dan just going down the aisle.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Guillermo, what is the amount of money that I would have to pay for you to spend the rest of the week in that mask because it makes me happy?
The rest of the week?
Yeah, what? On air, every show.
Bill, go high here, man.
What is the amount of money I would have to pay you? Guillermo is wearing a Freddy Krueger mask and outfit, but he's wearing the outfit without the hat, and so he looks just kind of like he's a horror figure who has no confidence, which is not the way that you're used to seeing the figures of horror.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tonight also in the Megacast?
No, you don't have to do it tonight.
So 4 more days of this. $100,000.
Good start. Meet him halfway, Dan.
I'll give you $50 if you do it tomorrow.
What?
No.
$50 if you do it tomorrow.
No.
$50 a day.
I bet you somebody else here would do it for $50. I bet you that there are other people who would take me up on that offer, but it's not as funny. No, but it's not as funny. It's got to be you because of how insecure. I could see your insecurity behind the mask.
It's so uncomfortable. Like, you'd be surprised. This thing doesn't move. I can't, cut out some of these teeth.
$100.
Sounds a little clearer now, doesn't he?
He did cut out some teeth. That seems like cheating. There were some teeth cut out.
Hold on. The offer's been up to $100, Bill. $100. $100 a day?
No, not $100 a day. $100 for tomorrow. I will give you $100 if you wear that Freddy Krueger mask tomorrow. Are you willing to do it? I am about to take that offer off of the table. The answer is
wow, shrewd, man.
Yes or no. The next
no deal.
No deal. All right,
Bill.
Really dumb. Really pridefully dumb.
$100, man.
You are UCF today. You are the standard for stupidity in negotiations. Yeah, it was a free $100 that you could have had for no reason.
No, you said $100 for tomorrow.
That's right. It would have been a free $100. It would have been the easiest $100 in the world. The audience right now is looking at you like, you idiot, insecure Freddy Krueger.
How much do you want this?
No, that's it. The negotiations are over. You will get nothing for it now. And if I order it tomorrow, you'll do it anyway for free. Because I will exert my power and go to human resources. Because I'm the boss.
I don't think Dan knows how human resources work.
He really does. They're not there to aid in bullying.
I think that would get me in trouble.
I think Billy would report you. Yes,
yes. I storm into human resources, and then they're like, "You're fired. You're not allowed to treat Billy that way."
Are you reporting yourself?
That's right. I come in, but that would really backfire on me. Where I'm going in. Listen, I want to report an employee for not enduring my bullying in a way that pleased me. Dan, you're fired.
$100 though, man. What's going on?
$100 sounds like a pretty good deal, man. Guillermo, put it on the poll. Would you accept $100 for wearing a Freddy Krueger mask for 3 hours during your workday? There ain't nobody who's turning that down. That was moronic that he just turned that down. There's nobody who's turning that down. $100, the easiest. You can't even put it on the poll because you got scissors for fingers. Right. Look at you. You can't even do your job.
Do you want to make the offer to anyone else here? I mean, maybe.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same. Without insecure Guillermo. What were the interesting things from the games yesterday to you? Because Wild Card Weekend, we do this a lot, right? With few exceptions. Wild Card Weekend, we're exciting. Oh, look, Tennessee beat Kansas City. That's amazing. And Tennessee will lose in the next round because they don't have a bye week and the team they're playing is better and they're playing on the road and the Patriots will smoke them. And you would have enjoyed the game of the Patriots and the Chiefs a lot more than you're going to enjoy Patriots-Tennessee, because none of you think Tennessee has any kind of chance going into New England.
No, I mean, Titan fans will figure out a way to get themselves revved up before that game and give themselves a chance. They'll figure out ways. That's what fans do. The Patriots were happy with that result yesterday. Or on Saturday.
Well, let me ask you this question, Stugotz, because the random nature of this, I've been pounding on this subject for a while, the random nature of how we do the measurements in sports on who's the best.
Right.
Would you agree with me? Titans, Ravens, Bills, no difference?
Yes. Yep.
So Titans, Ravens, Bills are fighting for the last arbitrary playoff spot, and they get into the playoffs in the road, and they go on against a Kansas City team that's very weird. It's a Kansas City team that's weird because they can beat you any given Sunday with 4 50-yard plays. They can beat you, but they really need Kelsey to be right.
Right.
They need a lot of things to be right, but Kansas City going into New England, they could have surprised you. New England has struggled in the past against some Kansas
City beat them there. Right, to start the season.
But I'm saying you would believe that Kansas City, you might have your doubts, you'd believe that Kansas City going there would have a legitimate chance. Instead, we got the stinkiest possible game because the Tennessee Titans are the worst team in the playoffs.
Yes, they are the worst team in the playoff. And you're right. Yes, if the Chiefs were going to Foxborough to play that game, I'd say to myself, hey, Chiefs could win this game, move on to the AFC Championship game. I am not feeling that with Tennessee.
But the Titans going into Foxborough is like the Washington Generals going to play the Harlem Globetrotters. They simply exist because a playoff game must be played and the business of being the Patriots must roll on. But that stinks for the audience. That's the team that's going to play New England in the first round because that game is crud.
Well, it stinks for now, Dan. We don't know that the NFL's strange, Dan. We don't know. It might be a great game.
I am not disputing that I can be spectacularly wrong on this and it would be a great game. What I'm saying is that by virtue of the Titans being the worst team in the playoffs and the Titans not being a playoff team by any measurement other than the rules of this sport, because none of us believe the Titans are any good. None of us. There's not a person out there. Mariota doesn't even believe that he's the best quarterback to come out of Hawaii. He knows that's Mackenzie Milton of UCF. They know they're not any good. The Titans know they are not any good. Their point differential. What's their point differential? Are they still under for the season? Have they still been outscored for the season, even with a playoff victory?
Well, they won the game by what?
That's right. Have they still been outscored for the season?
They're minus 22, so minus 21.
Who else is minus 22? Give me the other teams in the sport that this year were around minus 22. This should be a fun exercise.
All right,
so you can see how the Titans stink. The Titans advanced yesterday. We're all making fun of Andy Reid because the Titans stink.
I mean, I'll give you a minus, like the Bills. I think the Bills were probably the worst team headed into the playoffs. They were minus 57.
I believe, well, no, because they had that Peterman game in there. I don't believe the Bills are worse than the Titans. I believe the Bills are better than the Titans.
The Titans are the best of the minus teams, okay? Like, there's not really anyone close to them.
No, but give me the numbers.
Minus 59 on the Bengals.
Give me the
minus 46 on the Redskins.
That's the closest team to them, right?
Yeah,
you realize
the Redskins.
They are those the closest teams. They are those teams.
No, they're one of the final 8 teams. Those teams are done.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, they had turmoil in Foxborough with Belichick and Brady and Kraft. You never know with injuries. They don't have a backup because Jimmy Garoppolo's gone.
That's the genius of the league. That is the genius
of the league.
And Derrick
Henry. I mean, a star was born on Saturday.
They don't have any stars. Tennessee doesn't have any stars. They don't have a single one.
Derrick Henry.
Nobody. Guillermo, put it on the poll. Is there a star on the Tennessee Titans?
DeMarco Murray was famous.
Is there a star on the Tennessee Titans?
They won without him.
Yeah. They don't have any
Delaney
stars.
Walker?
Mariota, kind of? No. They don't have any stars.
They have none.
It's not going to be fun.
Yep.
Unless they win.
I mean, the Bills had a star,
Then the
right?
following week won't be fun.
Well, then it'll be, I mean, can you imagine Tennessee and Jacksonville?
That's what needs to happen.
The Thursday night football game no one wants to watch.
A Thursday night football game for everything. It's
Jacksonville with a home game to get to the Super Bowl.
That's what needs to happen. Yes. It's going to be 6-3, and the final play is Blake Bortles fumbling the snap, pooping himself, slipping in his own urine, 3-yard gain, first down. That's how the Jacksonville Jaguars play football. In fact, Guillermo put that on the poll. Is the Jacksonville playbook Blake Bortles drops the ball, panics, slips in his own urine, and rushes for 3 yards? Is that how they're going to get to the Super Bowl?
Now to the good stuff.
He ran it to perfection yesterday. I mean,
I love that team because what they've got on defense is they I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I'm surprised that nobody's reported it. They simply uncage everyone on their defense. They are in cages from some sort of either futuristic sci-fi movie, but it's the scariest thing in the world. And then they lift the cages up and they just tell everyone to go attack the quarterback. And it's Calais Campbell, and he's 6'8".
Yes.
And he runs on rage. And it's Jalen Ramsey, who's not afraid of anybody. That Jalen Ramsey kid.
He's good, man.
I mean, it's not just that he's good. It's that he's got more swagger than anybody in the damn league. That kid's not afraid of anybody.
You'd be surprised, though, if Jacksonville beats Pittsburgh, right?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. At this point, are you allowed to be surprised by Blake Bortles winning?
I'm imagining if the Patriots, with all this turmoil and a bye week, if their path to the Super Bowl is the Titans at home and the Jaguars at home, I'm going to be really upset.
Right.
I need them to play the Steelers.
The Patriots really do just sit around waiting for you to be crappy. And you always are. We're sitting here making the Patriots geniuses, and all they do is just sit there, try not to have murderers incarcerated, just get to the end of the season healthy, and someone else will figure out a way to shoot themselves in the face.
Let's see what slop is coming up here this year.
That's right. And every once in a while, they lose at home one of those games to the Jets.
Right, every once in a while. Just once.
Don Le Batard.
You're announcing that you will not announce that they are a good team until they've won back-to-back.
Yeah.
But because you are taking away all of Kevin Durant's championships in your personal record book,
right,
you are never allowing him to win them back-to-back, even if they win them back-to-back, thus securing that you never have to identify them as a great team.
Correct.
Stugotz.
I hate when I wander around in your head and see all the empty spaces and the tumbleweed blown around in it.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Here's the straight talk. Tonight, ESPN will televise the SEC championship game. That is tonight. If you want to watch the champions of the Southeastern Conference crowned, that will happen tonight. The rightful national champions will be celebrating in Orlando without us. They didn't want our T-shirts or our trophy. It has been a despondent weekend for Mike. We'll get into that in a second. We've got Stugotz's weekend observations to get to in a second. We've got Sean McDonough getting very emotional as John Gruden's leaving in a second. But first, I want to go to Rick Carlisle here. Rick Carlisle, there is very little in life, anywhere in public life, police officers maybe, that are closer together than NBA coaches. NBA coaches defend NBA coaches. You have never heard an NBA coach rip another NBA coach. The analysis of games done by broadcasters who are former NBA coaches are always very, very gentle to the coaches. You will never hear a former coach say, that coach is lousy, that coach's game plan stunk. You'll never hear it. You'll hear players say it about players.
Right.
You'll hear entertainers say it about entertainers. The code of coaches might be put it on the poll, Guillermo. Is the code of coaches better and stronger than even the code of the police force?
I'm sure you're right. I feel like Phil Jackson has ripped a coach before. I'm just Phil Jackson.
He might fight, but he'll never say someone did a poor job coaching. There could be a game in which a coach is totally incompetent, and you will not hear anyone from coaching beyond past coaches, future coaches, former coaches, present coaches. No one will ever say that guy did a horse bleep job preparing for that game. But Rick Carlisle is like the face of this. Rick Carlisle loves defending coaches because coaches don't get enough protection. Coaches are mistreated, making millions of dollars standing there on the sidelines, control freaks who don't have any actual control of the results of the game. So here's Rick Carlisle telling you that Luke Walton is a good coach. Luke Walton's very good. He doesn't deserve Lonzo Ball being near his franchise.
Our coaches are upset because Luke Walton does not deserve that. 2 years ago, he took a veteran team and led them to 24 wins in a row, which is an amazing accomplishment. And off of that, he earned the Laker job. And to have to deal with these kinds of ignorant distractions, is deplorable.
So he's coming after Lavar Ball, ignorant distractions. Luke Walton doesn't deserve that because Luke Walton did a fantastic job let's think about this for a second. A bobblehead would have won the championship for the Warriors. An actual bobblehead of Luke Walton.
Yep.
He's playing that as a veteran team, not the greatest team ever.
No, so listen to what Luke Walton deserves, right? It's not that he's got all these young players with the Lakers. Luke Walton deserves, because he sat there as a bobblehead on the Warriors sideline and watched them with a better seat than the rest of us win all their games. Luke Walton deserves better than the distraction of Lavar Ball. I'm sorry to burden Luke Walton with this multi-million-dollar job filled with young players, the head job that he parlayed, again, just standing next to the greatest team any of us have ever seen. So here's Rick Carlisle, though. He's defending all NBA coaches from the creeping menace that is the player's dad.
ESPN is an NBA partner, and they've been a great one. But, part of that partnership is that, the coaches do a lot of things to help them with access, interviews, all those kinds of things. And in exchange for that, they should back up the coaches. Printing an article where the father of an NBA player has an opinion that is printed as anything like legitimate erodes trust.
No, what you get in exchange for the access that you grant us is billions of dollars, Rick.
These people, the arrogance of these people who believe that on top of paying them millions of dollars and billions of dollars for their games, that he should also control the press and whether it talks to Lavar Ball. He thinks that partnership buys him that. What kind of crazed champion dictator is it that he thinks we should be paying him to tell us who we should interview?
That is Straight Talk. It is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless.
What kind of loon is this guy? We should pay you and then not interview. You want to be in charge of our content, Rick Carlisle? Have you seen your team do something with Harrison Barnes?
He's 13-28.
You're 13-28 and you're telling us who to interview? What kind of crazy people run the Mavericks? Because Mark Cuban wants to have control over who we interview, too.
Well, he's the crazy person running the Mavericks. What do you mean?
But who does, honestly, though, Rick Carlisle thinks he controls, what is Rick Carlisle doing in defense of Luke Walton? He's proclaiming he wants censorship. Guillermo, put it on the poll. Is Rick Carlisle a communist?
Don Batard.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
Awful.
Stugotz.
No, he's an embarrassment, man. He's bad. He's not a good player. I don't know what happened to him, because when he was in Portland, he was fantastic. He is not good, Dan. He cost them the game last night. Although they won the game. But had they lost, I'm telling you, it would have been on LaMarcus Aldridge. And the only reason it's not is because they won the game. And I'm still going to crush him even though they won.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Stugotz just said that the refs cost the Saints that game yesterday, even though they won it. Stugotz's weekend observations are coming up here in about 1 minute. We are about 1 minute from Stugotz's weekend observation.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Marty Smith going to be there in a half hour, noon Eastern. Here's your SportsCenter update. National championship game is tonight, Alabama and Georgia, 8 o'clock on ESPN. Kawhi Leonard has a partial tear in his left shoulder, but Greg Popovich says that he doesn't believe he'll be out long. And finally, Radiohead has filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against Lana Del Rey. Del Rey herself confirmed news of the lawsuit, saying Radiohead believes her song, Get Free, rips off the iconic track Creep. It's true about the lawsuit, Del Rey tweeted. Although I know my song wasn't inspired by Creep, Radiohead feels it was and want 100% of the publishing. The 32-year-old singer-songwriter said she initially offered Radiohead 40% of the publishing, but they will only accept 100. Their lawyers have been relentless, so we will deal with it in court. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in the SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
How many teams in the Western Conference have fewer victories than Rick Carlisle's Dallas Mavericks.
Fewer victories?
Fewer victories than Rick Carlisle's Dallas Mavericks.
2.
Oh, I was hoping I could say that Rick Carlisle should be grateful for Luke Walton and LaVar Ball and the existence of the Lakers. It's the only thing keeping them from being the worst team in the Western Conference.
It's them and the Grizzlies.
Who fired their coach, by the way, Rick.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies really liked their coach, and they fired him because their team looks like your team.
And the only tiebreaker is they've had one more win, but they've played a few, they have more losses than the other two, so they're the exact same number of games back.
Mike, I'm dead serious about this. How do you get into such a self-serious profession that you give that opinion with a straight face without realizing, hey, you don't get to control whether the media talks to LaVar Ball?
When he's saying that, does he realize that he's endorsing state television?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying when I call Rick Carlisle a communist, but I don't call him that. I ask it in poll form as a question. So I'm not actually doing I'm not doing McCarthyism.
Demonstrating the behavior of a communist.
That's right. Yeah. Rick Carlisle he is absolutely demonstrating the behavior of a dictator, a communist dictator. Let's go ahead and do Stugotz's weekend observations.
It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Dan, wild card weekend delivered. Peyton Manning, Monday Night Football booth, collision course. I could say this now because he's no longer here, and I'm a gigantic coward. John Gruden, NFL analyst, overrated. What happened there? What happened? What, I said I'm a coward. You're objecting to the fact that I said I'm a coward. All right. Wait. John Gruden agreed to look at Mark Davis every day in the face for the next decade. That alone is worth $100
That's right.
million.
$100 million.
John Gruden, back in the booth, inside of 5 years, collision course. The only wide receiver I can name on the Titans is Marcus Mariota. Andy Reid, different team. What happened?
It's true. They've got Delaney Walker, and I don't know who else. No, they got Delaney Walker.
End.
Right. He's a tight end, but he's kind of a wide receiver. I'm confused.
And Brassard.
Yeah.
Matthews? He's on their team?
And Decker is too.
This is what's great.
You never would have known it if you watched the game
this is what is great about the Titans. The Patriots next week have to play a random team showing up with random laundry of random dudes. None of us care about that team. We don't know anything about that team. It's just a bunch of uniforms marching into Foxborough to lose.
But if those dudes, the Titans dudes, were on the Patriots, they'd be good.
That's right. They would win all the championships.
Weird how that works, right? Andy Reid. Different team, different colors, same laminated Waffle House menu, and same results. Someone had reins handed over to them this weekend, Dan. Do you know who it was?
Nope.
Patrick Mahomes. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes who?
Well, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, he's here.
I thought that was obvious.
All right, he's here. Patrick Mahomes is here. All right, knock, knock. Who's here? Patrick Mahomes.
Yep, he's arrived. Jared Goff. Bust. L.A. Rams. Do it in the postseason. Rams fans, thanks for finally showing up. Why the NFL is so strange. Lions, Packers, Ravens, Chargers, Seahawks, maybe Cowboys. All teams I'd pick to win if they were playing Tennessee this weekend.
I still think the Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl.
Do you?
Yes. I think they're going to sneak in somehow, and they're going to be there, and then they're going to win. It's going to be a big surprise. It's going to be shocking to everybody.
Derrick Henry, load. DeMarco Murray, meet. Wally Pipp. Devonta Freeman, runs hard. Matt Ryan, Nick Foles. Atlanta Falcons, NFC Championship game, collision course. Rams, gotta crawl before you walk. Apparently, the only person in the world who wanted to see the Titans advance was Darrelle Revis. Arizona head coach Sean Miller, after losing to Colorado, said he can't reach his team. Hey, Sean, here's an idea. Stop yelling at them. Arizona head coach Sean Miller, after losing to Colorado, said he can't reach his tee. You know what else he can't reach? The Final Four.
Oof.
The greatest quarterback, wide receiver duo in Titans history. Mariota to Mariota. NFL Nation did a story where they interviewed coaches, players, and team personnel who didn't make the playoffs on how to beat every playoff team. Hey, NFL Nation, love you, but I don't care what guys who didn't beat those teams have to say about the teams they couldn't beat. Basically, what I'm telling you is John Fox's opinion on anything is meaningless.
That's right.
LA Rams, gotta sink before you swim. Blake Bortles can scoot. Former official Mike Pereira making a lucrative career by now blasting other officials. Mike, the Stugotz is strong in you. All Chris Carter did was score touchdowns. All Nathan Peterman does is throw interceptions. During the review of the Jalen Ramsey interception, Jim Nantz said the Bills better tell Nathan not to go very far. No, Jim, they should have told him to go far, very far away. Nothing, not kneeling for the anthem, not anything, has contributed to declining NFL ratings than instant replay. I'm serious about this. We are taking the fun out of sports. Let's get back to the way it used to be. If you get burned by the refs, you get burned by the refs. LA Rams, at some point, you have to take the training wheels off.
Oh, come on.
Ted Ginn Jr., solid career. Want to know how bad Nick Foles is? The Eagles are underdogs this weekend. Toronto Raptors have won 8 of 10, 4 straight, 14-1 at home, 2 seed in the East. Toronto Raptors, I'm just letting you know, I'm not falling for it.
Yeah.
Raptors, NBA Finals, collision course after John Gruden's deal. Tell me Bill Belichick hasn't thought about what he'd be worth in an open market. LA Rams, gotta walk before you run. Jeff Triplett really went out with a bang. Titans coach keeps his job because he wins a playoff game. Bunch of malarkey. Johnny Manziel, Grey Cup MVP, collision course. Tom Brady, Jim Gray, interview. Congratulations to Tom on his 26,000th consecutive day of saying nothing.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Jim on his 26,000th consecutive interview without asking a single difficult question.
No!
What happened there?
No, Jim Gray's a good journalist.
He is? He's got a star, the Walk of Fame. For what? I'll tell you for what. For lobbing up softballs. Blake Bortles now has more playoff wins than Y.A. Tittle, Archie Manning, Sonny Jurgensen, and Chris Sims combined. Has anyone in the history of sports licked their fingers more than Drew Brees?
Yeah.
I'm not certain we give Cam Newton enough credit for being one of the best and most unique athletes we've ever seen. I'll never be able to explain this, but watching the Panthers and Saints, all I kept thinking is that there's no way Michael Thomas is not good at sex.
You too? You
Yeah.
thought that too? I was thinking exactly
Really?
the same thing. Yes,
All
I was
right.
watching him run up and down. I'm like, that dude is so good at sex. It's exactly my analysis.
It just got to be a machine.
Yeah, just
right?
just a machine of confidence and just sexual arousal and pulsating fireworks of glory and ecstasy.
I thought I was alone on
Yeah, no, it was
Very
obvious.
excited,
It was
yeah.
obvious. The whole TV screen was covered in it.
Hey, Rick Carlisle, when it comes to what's going on with the Lakers, I trust Lavar Ball more than I trust anyone inside their organization. And certainly, I trust him more than I trust you. Hey, Rick Carlisle, say one interesting thing and we'll cover you. Rick Carlisle, the father of the second overall pick in the NBA draft, is ripping his son's head coach. And you don't think that's worth covering? What should we be covering, Rick?
Right.
Your 13-28 Dallas Mavericks team, Dustin Johnson, coming within an inch of getting a hole-in-one on a 435-yard par 4, is the single most impressive thing I've seen someone do with a golf club since Elin. Art Briles was supposed to give a presentation at the American Football Coaches Association convention tomorrow, but it was canceled on account of it being really tough to catch a flight out of hell.
Yeah!
Dan, those are the weekend observations.
Don Le Batard.
Man, I hope the future looks like whatever Elon Musk is imagining.
Imagining is the right word, because he ain't doing anything. He's just thinking about it.
I don't think it's fair to say he's not doing anything.
What's he doing? I mean,
Stugotz.
Seriously, what does he produce, though?
Tesla?
Well, besides that, the ideas are great. The ideas are great. Great ideas. The execution.
I mean, of course, because they've never been done before.
Well, let's go.
Okay.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
We have a Big Baller rating here. Big Baller brand has gotten a rating from the Better Business Bureau. Are you ready for the rating from the Better Business Bureau for Big Baller brand? If you're familiar with Big Baller brand, it is a giant brand making its way through Lithuania with two sons in the Ball family making $5 a month playing basketball in Lithuania. Big Baller brand from the Better Business Bureau has gotten an F rating. We ordered something from Big Baller brand. It came 7 to 8 months late and was not what we ordered.
Is that A to Z or?
Here we go. I'm going to read to you from the New York Daily News. Lavar Ball's Big Baller brand apparel company has scored a big fat F rating from the Better Business Bureau. The organization has received 32 formal complaints and 44 negative customer reviews with 0 positive reviews. That's good enough for the lowest rating possible for the basketball dad and his family. Blair Looney, the CEO of Better Business Bureau of Central California, told TMZ Sports that the organization twice reached out to the company to help with its issues, but said the offers had fallen on dead ears. Looney is quoted as saying, "This is very definitely substandard normal business practices for anybody. For anybody."
There's only one pair of ears. I mean, it's a one-man operation out of his basement.
The complaints detailed orders that have been both delayed and incorrectly processed. I'm familiar with their work in that area. This company does not offer refunds, read one entry from November. I purchased 2 items and was told there would be a 1 to 2 week delay. I have been waiting 6 weeks now, and when I asked why it was taking so long, I was called a small baller.
That is great.
That's amazing.
That is awesome. That is customer service.
That is exactly how that organization should treat customer service. Wait, here's the sentence. Here's the other sentence. And I'm here for all reading comments from a comment section that we can do.
This is amazing.
This is the last sentence from this customer comment. At this point, I believe they have decided to steal my money.
Awesome.
I'm going to read that comment again so that you fully absorb that somehow the headline, Big Baller brand gets F rating from Better Business Bureau, is not the most damaging part of this story for this business. From the pages of the New York Daily News, here is one commenter. I don't know whether it's a Yelp review or what. This company does not offer refunds. I purchased 2 items and was told there would be a 1 to 2 week delay. I've been waiting 6 weeks now, and when I asked why it was taking so long, I was called a small baller.
By Lavar, I bet.
At this point, I believe they have decided to steal my money. Undefeated. Never lost. What a great clown show. And Rick Carlisle's all serious over here saying that Luke Walton should be defended from this. What a clown show, man.
You remember Rob? I always think about this whenever he opens his mouth, and I don't want him to stop. Trust me, I do not. When Rob Pelinka, the Lakers GM, said, we went to the Ball's house before the draft just to make sure. I said, I'm taking your son, but you got to be quiet. And he pulled me aside, and he said, I'm not going to say a word. You take my son, I won't say a single word. He just ripped the head coach.
I just love the idea that Big Baller brand is you call their house, and LeVar just shouts to another room, LeAngelo, do you have a shoe in there we can mail out? Big Baller brand. And then you call customer service and you're like, I've got a complaint. Then you're a small baller.
Attention shoppers, clean up on aisle 14. Clean up on aisle 14. Someone dropped a jar of pickles. Pickles. Kosher pickles.
Beatboxing at a big box store. Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
A red minivan has the lights on in the parking lot.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Geico.